What's good, people? We back with another video today, and week 2 in the books now. And I'm gonna kind of do this a little bit differently than what I've been doing or what I did in week 1, where instead of a one big video encompassing all the games, I'm gonna break it down into multiple videos talking about each game individually. Starting with the Vikings and the Cardinals. Now, before we even get into the game, this is two teams, two franchises I really respect. Two coach, quarterback, GM trios that I really like throughout the league. Starting with the Vikings, Rick Spielman, one of my 5 favorite GMs in the league. I feel like every year he constantly does what he needs to do. Now this year it's a little bit sketchy with Christian Darrisaw. Had an up and down training camp, hasn't been able to get on the field. So we'll continue to monitor that as the season goes on. They have Kirk Cousins, who I know gets a lot of flack. I feel like he's criminally underrated. I feel like he's overhated for some reason. And they have Mike Zimmer, who I love. I love Mike Zimmer. And then on the Cardinals side, you have Kyler, who through these 2 weeks, Kyler Murray has played phenomenally well. Probably the favorite to win MVP through 2 weeks. It's a long season. We'll see what happens, but he's been phenomenal. You have Cliff Kingsbury, the coach, who I felt like a little bit was on the hot seat coming into the season. A lot of people had him on the hot seat, but I liked what the Cardinals did last year, and I felt like if injuries didn't kind of derail them mid-season, they probably would have made the playoffs last year. They were 6-2, 6-4 or something. They ended up being 8-8. So far, they're 2-0. And, if they can stay healthy this year, they're a legit playoff contender, man. So, and then you have Steve Kahn, who is a very no risk it, no biscuit-esque GM. He loves, going big, going home, swinging. Give him props for being able to say, okay, we whiffed on Josh Rosen, let's go get Kyler Murray, and that looks like a damn good decision now. But getting into the game, actually, let's talk about Danielle Hunter for a second, because I feel like I haven't seen anybody singing his praises. This dude was injured all of last season, kind of was holding out as well, asking for a new contract. Everything seems to be fine now. He's healthy, and after brutalizing Joe Burrow last week, this week, he got 3 sacks on Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a tough quarterback to bring down. He got him down 3 times. Shout out Danielle Hunter, man. Again, I haven't seen anybody talking this guy up. We need to, because he's a beast and he's making plays. And it looks like he's healthy, man. And good for him. Good for him. And KJ Osborne? Where did this guy come from? 5th round pick from the Vikings. Scores on like a 68-yard touchdown to open the game in like 14 minutes left in the game in the first quarter. Scores on a bomb. This guy, I think he had 7 for 96 and a touchdown. Outpacing fellow receivers Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. So this guy is a real player for the Vikings through 2 weeks. He had a pretty good game in week 1 as well. And it bears mentioning that Mike Zimmer really doesn't like trotting out rookies early on. And for KJ Osborne to be getting significant playing time and significant snaps and making plays, that's just a testament to how hard KJ Osborne works and in training camp and obviously in the games. And Mike Zimmer's taken note. And big props to KJ. I hope he can continue this. Speaking of rookie receivers, man, Rondale Moore is a problem. Oh my goodness, this dude. 7 for 114 and a touchdown. Kyler Murray made an incredible play where, he's got 2 pass rushers on him, both sides. He looks dead to rights, and he just does a little spin, get out the way, rolls to his left. Looks like, he's got three pass rushers, 3 defenders barreling down on him. Throws across his body to a wide open Rondale Moore, and Moore just waltzes in for the touchdown. Incredible play. Gus Johnson called it beautifully. They need to get him on more NFL games, side note. But Rondale Moore, I said it when they took him, phenomenal piece for this offense, because we know Cliff Kingsbury's offense. He loves those bubble screens, those quick outs, those quick passes, as an extension of the run game. And he was trying to do that with Larry Fitzgerald and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, Fitz is probably my favorite player all time. I love Larry Fitzgerald, and DeAndre Hopkins is DeAndre Hopkins, but those two don't really have the frame, the athletic traits, the bodies, to run plays like that. Rondale Moore fits that and fits this offense perfectly. And I think he had like 80 yards or something in his first game in week 1. Rondale Moore is a beast, man. And I love this rotation that the Cardinals have with their receivers. I want to talk about AJ Green too. He had a touchdown. We had an AJ Green sighting. I think he had like 50 yards. These receivers, Rondale's kind of slim, kind of small. AJ Green, he's been injured on and off the last few seasons. They have a lot of receiving talent to where I feel like AJ Green's not going to be asked to play every snap of every game and risk injury. Meanwhile, Rondale Moore, same thing. He's not going to be, I'm sure he'll take some hits. Everybody does, but in that quick passing game, and he's got blockers in front of him on receiver screens, bubble screens, whatever. He's not going to be taking constant hits every single game. He's going to be left wide open. AJ Green is going to be used as a red zone target. So I feel like the Cardinals have this nice, obviously DeAndre Hopkins is an every down receiver. Christian Kirk might be as well. He's played phenomenally well as well these first 2 weeks. So they kind of have a good thing going where they're not going to be overexposing Rondale Moore. And I feel like his frame won't be taken advantage of. And same thing with AJ Green. I feel like his injury woes won't be taken advantage of either, because he's not going to be asked to play as much, So they got a good thing going. And Kyler Murray, man, MVP talks. I thought he was going to be MVP last year. I may have been a year late, man. We'll see what happens. Again, still early, but speaking of Kyler Murray, I do want to talk about Nick Vigil. He had a great pick six, I think in the beginning of the second half. It may have been in the first half. I think it was beginning of the second half. And I think it was Colin Cowherd say that Kyler's kind of got a little bit of Brett Favre to him. I think it was Cowherd that said that, where he's running all over the place, he's slinging it downfield all over the place, but as much good as he gives you, Kyler did have 2 picks, 1 for 6. So don't want to sound the alarm or anything, because he's playing phenomenally. He had a rushing touchdown as well. Did the little Baby Yoda. I like that touchdown celebration. But just something to monitor as the season goes on. He had 2 picks. I think he had an interception as well in the week 1 game against Tennessee. But Kyler plays with sort of a reckless abandonment, and it works, man. He's played as he's probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks through 2 weeks. So big props to him. But just something to monitor. Going back to the Vikings a little bit, they were 2 of 10 on third down. A lot of third and shorts where they were some bad play calls. Whether it's running up the gut and the Cardinals sniffing it out or something like that. Like, I felt like the Vikings could have did more on third down. I didn't really like the third down play calling here, and that kind of cost them. It kind of cost. I don't want to say cost both teams, but both teams didn't really do much in the second half. Just 10 points each. Both offenses really went off in the first half, kind of dwindled in the second half as the defense is caught on. And that's all I got to say about the game, man. I do want to say, Vikings fans, I feel for you, man. The kicker missing at the end there, brutal. Paul Allen hyped up that it went in, and then he realizes it didn't go in, and his voice drops. He's sad. The Vikings have a brutal first 2 weeks of the season, man. I thought they got shafted last week. They should have beat the Bengals. The refs call a fumble on Dalvin Cook that really wasn't a fumble. I didn't really see much, but they ruled it a fumble, so they couldn't go back and change it. It wasn't really much to see. I didn't think he fumbled it, but that was the initial ruling, so they went with it. Joe Burrow, gets a short field. Bengals able to kick a field goal. That sucks. That hurts. This one probably hurts a little bit more because you get in field goal range, you have the kicker there, and he just misses it. After making 2 50-yarders previously, I think he even made a 50-yarder in the fourth quarter. That hurts. That really hurts, man. And doesn't get any easier because you got to play the Seattle Seahawks next week. So, as much as I love the Vikings, as much as I love their organization, it could really start off 0-3. A snake-bitten 0-2, but 0-2 is 0-2 any way you look at it, man. And they could be 0-3. And the Cardinals, meanwhile, they could be 3-0. They get the Jacksonville Jaguars next week, and the Jags really have no idea what they're doing. Urban Meyer has been severely outcoached in both games. I expect him to be outcoached in that game as well. Trevor Lawrence has looked rocky, but that's what happens when you don't have the supporting cast, you don't have the infrastructure, you don't have the coaching to prop up these young quarterbacks. Look at Zach Wilson over there. The Jets have been dealing with injury after injury, and Zach Wilson's feeling it. Plus he had to play Bill Belichick. That doesn't go well for any rookies. Justin Herbert lost 45-0 last year to Bill Belichick. So, quick side note. But yeah, man, Cardinals real chance of being 3-0. Vikes real chance of being 0-3. We'll see what happens next week. But that's the video, guys. Make sure you like it, subscribe. Vikings fans, tell me how you feel in the comments. Cardinals fans, tell me how you feel in the comments. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Those links will be in the description below. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. I'll be back quickly with the 49ers and Eagles and my thoughts on that game. So, appreciate the love, man. Take care. See you soon.